Few gemstones in the world captivate the imagination quite like the Hope Diamond. Known for its extraordinary beauty, deep blue hue, and storied past, this legendary jewel is more than just a precious gem. It is a piece of history shrouded in myth, mystery, and what many believe to be a deadly curse. A jewel with many names and a long journey. Revered for centuries, the Hope Diamond has been called many things. Le Bijou du Roi, the King's Jewel. Le Bleu de France, France's blue. And before it took its current form, the Tavernier Blue. Weighing an impressive 45.52 carats today, the diamond's origins trace back to India in the 17th century, where it was reportedly part of a sacred statue's eye. Its journey from a religious artifact to a museum centerpiece spans continents and centuries, marred by tales of misfortune, betrayal, and untimely deaths, giving rise to what many now refer to as the curse of the Hope Diamond. The origin of the curse. The legend begins in 1642 with Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a French gem merchant who was said to have taken the original 115.16-carat blue diamond from a temple in India. According to the lore, it was embedded in the eye of a deity statue, and removing it enraged the temple priests, who supposedly cursed the stone. Whether fact or folklore, the story says Tavernier contracted a mysterious and fatal fever not long after acquiring the gem. However, historical records suggest that he actually lived well into his 80s and died peacefully. Still, this tale marks the beginning of the Hope Diamond's ominous reputation. From royal treasure to royal tragedy. In 1668, Tavernier sold the diamond to King Louis XIV of France. The monarch had the stone cut down to 69 carats in 1673 and set it into a pendant, now dubbed the Blue Diamond of the Crown. However, the king's fate adds fuel to the legend. He died painfully of gangrene. A curious footnote in this chapter involves Nicolas Fouquet, a French official who is rumored to have briefly worn the diamond at a royal event. Soon after, he was imprisoned for life in the fortress of Pignerol, and some even speculate that he was the real man in the Iron Mask. Later, King Louis XIV and Queen Marie Antoinette inherited the diamond during a time of growing political unrest. As history remembers, both were eventually executed by guillotine during the French Revolution, the ultimate downfall of royalty believed by many to be linked to the cursed diamond. The Revolution and the disappearance. During the chaos of the French Revolution, the French blue vanished. The theft remains a historical mystery, but the stone would not remain hidden forever. It re-emerged decades later, significantly smaller and with a new name. Enter Wilhelm Falls, a Dutch jeweler entrusted with recutting the gem into what is now the 45.52-carat Hope Diamond. The story takes another dark turn here. Falls was reportedly murdered by his own son, who then took his own life, all supposedly linked to their connection with the diamond. The Hope family and a new era of misfortune. In 1839, the diamond resurfaced in the possession of the Hope banking family in London, which is where it gained its now famous name. While the family didn't publicly acknowledge any curse, financial troubles and declining fortunes plagued them for years. The diamond stayed in the Hope family until the early 1900s, when it was sold to a series of new owners and the trail of misfortune continued. A Greek merchant's grim end. Simon Monterides, a Greek merchant with a brief but fateful connection to the Hope Diamond, became yet another name in its long list of alleged victims. In 1910, he came into possession of the infamous gem and soon after sold it to the renowned jeweler Pierre Cartier. Not long after the transaction, tragedy struck. According to reports, Monterides lost control of his vehicle and drove off a cliff, resulting in his untimely death. The circumstances of the accident raised eyebrows, especially given the diamond's already dark reputation. Was it mere coincidence, or yet another chapter in the jewel's eerie legacy? His sudden demise added fuel to the legend of the curse. It seemed that even brief ownership could bring about misfortune. The diamond's next journey was just beginning, and the ominous pattern showed no signs of ending. The diamond's most notorious owner. Perhaps no one experienced the supposed curse more publicly than Evelyn Walsh McLean, an American socialite and heiress who bought the Hope Diamond from Cartier in 1912. Known for her lavish lifestyle, she flaunted the gem in high society and even attached it to her dog's collar for a laugh. But tragedy was never far behind. Evelyn's life was riddled with heartbreak. Her son died at age 9. Her husband abandoned her and later died in an asylum. Her daughter succumbed to a drug overdose, and Evelyn herself died deeply in debt. She was eventually forced to sell off her prized newspaper, the Washington Post, and other assets. Despite the glamour and wealth, she could not escape the grip of sorrow, which many attributed to the cursed diamond. From private hands to public display. After Evelyn's death, famed jeweler Harry Winston acquired the Hope Diamond in 1949. Unlike many before him, Winston seemed untouched by the curse. However, when he donated the gem to the Smithsonian Institution in 1958, sending it via ordinary U.S. mail, the story took another eerie turn. James Todd, the mailman who delivered the diamond, was soon involved in a series of unfortunate events. First, he was in a serious truck accident. Then he sustained a separate head injury, and finally his home burned down. Whether coincidence or curse, Todd's string of bad luck became yet another tale in the diamond's dark saga. The Hope Diamond today. Now one of the most iconic exhibits in the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., the Hope Diamond continues to draw millions of visitors every year. It is currently valued at around $250 million and displayed in a protective glass case, safe from would-be thieves, and perhaps the curse it supposedly carries. Despite its notoriety, many scientists and historians dismiss the curse as myth. Some argue that the misfortunes were simply bad luck, exaggerated over time by sensational storytelling. Still, the stories remain a vital part of the diamond's allure. The Cape Town connection. For those who may never get the chance to visit the Smithsonian in the U.S., a life-size replica of the Hope Diamond, along with other world-famous diamonds, is on display at the Cape Town Diamond Museum in South Africa. Located at the Clock Tower precinct in the Vienna waterfront, the museum offers daily tours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and provides fascinating insights into the world of diamonds, from their formation deep within the earth to their historical and cultural significance. Curse or coincidence? So is the Hope Diamond really cursed? Or is its dark legend simply a result of centuries of misfortune linked through coincidence and embellished by rumor? The truth may never be known. But what is certain is that this enigmatic gem has seen the rise and fall of empires, the ruin of fortunes, and has remained one of the world's most talked about jewels. Whether you are a believer in curses or a skeptic of supernatural tales, the Hope Diamond is undeniably one of the most fascinating and mysterious artifacts ever discovered. It's a stone that dazzles not just with its physical brilliance, but with the rich, haunting stories that follow it, stories that continue to enchant, terrify, and inspire wonder. If you enjoyed diving into the mysterious world of the Hope Diamond, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Got your own theory about the curse? Drop it in the comments. We're dying to hear it. Subscribe for more mind-blowing legends, sparkling history, and gem-packed adventures every week. Thanks for watching, and remember, some treasures shine a little too bright.